NBA insider John Hollinger has revealed some potential trade targets for the New York Knicks down the line this season, and we're going to break it down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video and break down these 4 potential trade targets that John Hollinger has revealed as guys the New York Knicks could pursue this upcoming trade deadline. But real quick, guys, in the same way that Mitchell Robinson protects the New York Knicks from easy layups and dunks, NordVPN can change everything for you guys, because here's the deal. I sometimes like to work from home, and when that's the case, I'll want to go to a coffee shop sometimes and maybe work there. But here's the problem with Wi-Fi networks, especially free public ones. They can be compromised by criminals trying to intercept your information. And not only that, they can insert themselves between you and your destination and take your data and even alter it. They'll spy on your data. They'll use fake Wi-Fis to try to trick you. NordVPN will protect you from that. So you guys want to make sure to go to nordvpn.com/KnicksDigest to get your NordVPN now. And if you don't like it, you'll get a 30-day money-back guarantee. But guys, it is huge having NordVPN on your side. Obviously, you'll protect the data that matters. You get worldwide access in just one tap. It's a blazing fast VPN. And again, the best part is you protect all your stuff that matters. You do not have to be worried about anything one bit. Now, I'm obviously in the United States, so I scrolled right down and got my NordVPN going, and it has been huge for me. As I said, this changes everything. So you guys want to make sure to go to nordvpn.com/KnicksDigest. Once again, that is nordvpn.com/KnicksDigest. 30-day money-back guarantee. You literally cannot lose in this situation, so make sure to do that, guys. Now let's talk some basketball. Man, do I miss LA. I was so tan there. But guys, in all seriousness, let's jump into this video and talk about these potential center targets. And now we're going to waste no more time after that ad read, because John Hollinger mentioned that if Golden State struggles and decides to make Draymond Green available, or the Suns are in a similar situation and decide to cash in on Jusuf Nurkic stock, those are 2 names that would make a lot of sense in New York. Draymond might be out of the price range asset-wise and second apron-wise, but Hollinger does not believe that's the case with Jusuf Nurkic. Now, both of these guys make a lot of money, and there's almost no way where the New York Knicks could actually land Jusuf Nurkic or Draymond Green and avoid the second apron. It would take a lot of finagling. You definitely have to move Precious along with Jericho. You might also have to move Deuce McBride. And even still, that doesn't even add up the contracts. The Knicks don't have a bad tradable contract right now, like how they had Bogdanovich, but they used it on McHale as they should have, or excuse me, or when they had Evan Fournier and they used it on Burks and Bogdanovich. They don't have that anymore. All the Knicks contracts are good, so you don't really want to trade someone who you're going to use in your rotation consistently other than Precious for a different player. I think that kind of is the problem. Also, I just don't think Draymond Green's a center. He's 6'6", 6'7"? He's not that tall. He's definitely older. He's more of a power forward regardless. And I can't see the Warriors trading him in the middle of a season. I feel like that's just something that when the Warriors know this is done, when they know it's just the core of that Warriors team is dead and it's just going to be Steph playing out his final days there, then I feel like they're just not exactly going to move Draymond until they know that's the case. And with Nurkic, the Suns don't really have too many other options for role players. The Suns are short on role players as it is. Nurkic obviously doesn't fit that team whatsoever. But also separately, the Knicks can't really afford Nurkic because the Trailblazers gave him that massive contract a couple of years ago. And it's going to be the same problem with the second apron. I mean, again, when you have Brock Aller, anything's possible cap-wise. But at the same time, I don't really think that this would be something that would work out. It would just take so much financial gymnastics. Shout out Simone Biles. But Draymond actually had a very solid season last year. He shot nearly 40% from 3, put up 8.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's still Draymond Green. Now, he's getting older, obviously. It would be tough to make it work. Obviously, his three-point numbers are going up, which is a good sign for a guy getting older. So great adjustment by Draymond. He's a very smart player. He would fit the Knicks culture excellently. Also, he's definitely one of those players that once he's on your team, so the Warriors, the only team he's ever been on, you definitely love him. There's a reason why all Warriors fans love Draymond Green, despite the fact that sometimes he thinks that he's Alex Pereira and wants to punch people in the face. But at the same time, we know how great that Draymond can be, especially in his specific role. Now, Nurkic had a phenomenal season last year. Great mid-range shooter, put up 11 and 11 with 4 assists also, and over a block and a steal per game. He is beating the bad defense allegations. Nurkic had his best defensive season he's ever had, one of the best seasons of his career, and he's still only 29 years old. It was not that long ago where there was genuinely a time when the question was, who do the Nuggets trade? Jusuf Nurkic or Nikola Jokic? Now, Jokic obviously has become the best player in the NBA, or at least was. If you don't want to say he is anymore, that's fine, but I just completely disagree. He totally is. And he's won a championship, so obviously the right call in the Nuggets. I don't think that was the hardest decision to make, but it was an actual conversation at one point, back when they were like, Jokic can no longer be a power forward. Now, when you look at these two guys, I said it, like, it's the cap situation. You're not really going to be able to make this work out well. You're going to have to do so many financial gymnastics to even pull the trade off, and then you're going to end up in the second apron anyway, which you probably want to avoid to begin with. But Hollinger leads into other names that are a lot more doable. He mentions the other guy who could theoretically check all the boxes is Robert Williams in Portland. Again, that's another one where the Knicks probably want to let the season play out and see if he could stay in the lineup for more than a week or two, being that Williams has had a lot of health issues, similarly to Mitchell Robinson. At a much lower level, basically, also, like, the player who makes the most sense in the role behind Robinson could be Larry Nance Jr., and that's what Hollinger's kind of saying in the sense that, like, well, it's a realistic target. You could actually go out there and get Larry Nance Jr. He's the third-string center on the Hawks right now after that weird trade because the Hawks are not a good front office at all. They're a terrible team. I actually think they're going to make the playoffs this year, though, or at least they'll be in the play-in. I could see Trae Young having a great game and then them getting swept in the first round. But, like, hopefully by the Knicks. That'd be a fun rematch, especially just to watch Mitchell Robinson destroy Clint Capella's life, as he usually does. But when you look at that move, it's something else that they could consider. But Nance, I don't see the difference between him and Precious Achiuwa at all. They're very similar players, except Precious is a better defender, so I don't like that idea. My favorite of these 4 names is definitely Nurkic, because as I talked about a few days ago, I like the difference in the centers where you have Mitchell Robinson, then you have a guy who's more of that Hartenstein vibe in Jusuf Nurkic. So I would love that move, but at the same time, again, it's really hard to do. Robert Williams, if you want to do what Tibbs likes, which is have a center that mirrors Mitchell Robinson, so basically have a center mirror your starting center, or like a backup center mirroring your starting center, yeah, Williams makes sense. But he mirrors Mitch too well in the fact that he's probably going to get injured as per usual, and that's a bad sign. Remember, he came back from that injury early and then still has not been the same, and that was back in Boston. So, like, there's definitely some worry behind each of those players, but also we're going to take a look at their stats because it's fun to do. Now, Williams last year put up 6.8 points and 6.3 rebounds. He hardly played because he missed most of the season with an injury. Got 1.2 blocks and steals per game, though, so he's still a solid defender. Very good box plus minus on the season. Again, not too many games played. He's also young. The Knicks could certainly help transform his game 100%. And then also Larry Nance Jr., I mean, like good defensive numbers and all that, I guess, and a positive impact player according to his value over a replacement player. Put up 6 and 5, 2 assists, shot 41% from 3, which is the best part about his game, honestly. Like, I know he's known as a dunker and all that, but he can shoot. He's a good offensive player. He's also more of a power forward in my mind. I don't think he's probably a little bit better than Precious Achiuwa, but not enough to where it's like, let's go out there and get this guy. I don't think that's going to work if Mitch goes down with an injury. Then you're running Larry Nance Jr. as your center. That doesn't make much sense unless you're really comfortable with OG guarding big men, which we know the Knicks are. But still, it's something to be concerned about. I really want them to go out there and just get Nick Richards. Just pull that off. You can get him for Precious. They make nearly the same amount of money. Precious actually makes $1 million more, which helps the Knicks out because the Knicks are over that first apron, meaning they cannot take in more money than what they send out. So they'd be sending out a guy, Precious, on a $6 million contract for a guy, Nick Richards, who's on a $5 million contract. Now, I'm really bad at math, but I'm like 96% sure that 6 is higher than 5. So with that in mind, I think that would be a good move. And Nick Richards is a very solid player. I think he's better than all the guys mentioned here of the realistic ones. So, the two, and Larry Nance and Robert Williams. Because Nurkic just isn't realistic. I'm sorry, he's just not. The Suns want to win. I'm thrown off today, guys. The Suns want to win, and they're not going to, but you need as many role players as possible to win, and the Suns have, two. Now three. They have Tyus Jones, which is a phenomenal pickup. But they have, Jones and Grayson Allen, who had a phenomenal year last year, and Jusuf Nurkic, and, I guess Bol, and it's just not a very deep team at all, and I don't think they're going to trade Jusuf Nurkic away after he just had a great season. It doesn't make sense unless they're going to trade for a center who's more of their vibe, who would help the team more instead of an offensively focused center, a defensively focused one. And the Knicks aren't trading Mitch for Nurkic. That's just not happening. But guys, I do want to know what you think. Do you guys like any of these ideas? Who's your ideal backup center? I know we're really hammering this subject home. Comment anything below that you want to see me make. I'll absolutely hop on it. Make sure to like, subscribe. You guys got us to 7 grand subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. It means the world to me. We're going to keep on grinding. We're trying to get to 8,000 before the season begins. Last year when the season started, I don't even know if we had over 2,000. So it's a grind. It's, as Isaiah Thomas would say, that slow grind. But we're getting there. Also, make sure if you're a Yankee fan, you'll watch Yankees Digest. If you're a New York Jets fan, Jets Digest is dropping very soon. Check out all the channels along the network. We got a bunch of great creators. Really fun videos. Guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Go Knicks, baby!